When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife, Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Bill. Okay. Well, Lake Stevens Vikings meet the Green Bay Packers, meet the Indianapolis Colts, meet the Houston Texans. That's a story tonight as we come back to Lake Stevens Stadium for this Quad District 4A crossover playoff game between the Vikings and the Kentlake Falcons from the North Puget Sound League. Tonight's game on Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3, and streaming live on EverettPost.com. Sponsored tonight by Team Fitness of Lake Stevens, by the Law Office of Russell and Hill, El Paraiso Mexican Grill, Vander Yacht Propane, Everett Safe and Lock, Snohomish County PUD, by Major League Pizza, the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Store, Allstate Insurance Agent Brian Reed, and Glass by Lund. Hello once again, everybody. Tom Lafferty along with Bill Kusler. Luke Windsor on the sidelines in for Frank Foster. For this game between the Falcons and the Vikings, let's get our keys to the game brought to you by Everett Safe and Lock. Okay, Bill Kusler, Aaron Rodgers, Andrew Luck, Deshaun Watson. Now I realize that's comparing NFL to high school football, but that's a task facing Lake Stevens with the loss of starting quarterback Connor Bardew. Can the Vikings still win this game?
They certainly can, but let's run through those keys of the game. Let's start with Kentlake.
Okay.
First for Kentlake, they've got to protect quarterback Brandon Mortensen. You know, he gets in the spread, he can pass the ball, but he needs time. You know, Matt Saveo and Ryan Sander, the two defensive ends for Lake Stevens, have been sack monsters all season long, and so Kentlake has to protect their quarterback. They cannot afford sloppy play, no turnovers, few penalties. They need to get some balance between the pass and the run. And they have a couple of good running backs, but they do need to have that balance to stay in the ball game. And finally, on the defensive side, they're going to need to stop the run. I have a feeling Lake Stevens is going to go more to the run than they have in the past because they will be starting their backup quarterback, even though Trey Long is a decent passer. For Lake Stevens, keys to the game, they really need to avoid an emotional letdown. They had that very emotional, heartfelt win against Monroe, who was undefeated. They came in as an underdog in that ball game, and they have a history of going into this first round, the quad district round, and really taking it two teams. They cannot look past Kentlake, so they got to stay up emotionally. Number two, kind of in the same thing, they need to rally behind their two backup quarterbacks. Trey Long, we might even see a little bit of Tanner Jellison, the freshman, coming in, so they need to rally between them. Run the ball. You want to give those quarterbacks confidence. You don't want to put their foot to the fire early. So Lake Stevens needs to run the ball. And then finally, don't be afraid to let your defense win the ball game for you. You know, Lake Stevens has been very balanced between the offense and the defense. They need to be a little bit more conservative on offense and let your defense play and win for you.
Kind of like a team that plays a little bit south of here on Sundays.
A little bit like that, yeah.
Let the defense win it for you.
Yep.
Our keys to the game brought to you by Everett Safe and Lock, serving Snohomish County and surrounding areas since 1971. Visit their storefront location and showroom at 5108 Evergreen Way in Everett. Online at everettsafeandlock.com. Let's get out of the field. We'll check in with Luke Windsor in for Frank Foster tonight. Get a pregame field conditions and weather update. Luke, it was snowing on the way here this afternoon.
Yes, we had snow, we had rain, but thankfully that is cleared up now. And field seems to be in good shape, and the weather's dried up. So the only thing the players have to worry about right now is just the cold, keeping their hands and their feet warm.
How about you? How about you keeping your hands and feet warm, Luke?
That's another issue entirely, but I'm not playing, so does that really matter?
So, Bill, you talked a little bit about not having a letdown when you don't have a quarterback, but can it go the other way too?
It certainly can. There are times, and you've seen it in a lot of different things, when things look like they're not going your way, and people rally, and it kind of snowballs. It's just like, Michael Jordan having 103-degree temperature and scoring 66 points in the playoffs. You fight through adversity, and I think if any team can do that, Lake Stevens can. So
we're going to take a break and come back with tonight's opening kickoff and game action. It's the Lake Stevens Vikings at 7-0. And in league play, 8-1 overall. The Kentlake Falcons out of the North Puget Sound League at 4-3 in league play, 5-4 overall. And we'll come back with tonight's opening kickoff and game action coming up next here on Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi ductless heat pumps allow you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. Because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife, Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
In Lake Stevens for this 4A Quad District crossover playoff game between the Kentlake Falcons and the Lake Stevens Vikings, along with Bill Kusel and Luke Windsor. In for Frank Foster on the sidelines tonight, I'm Tom Lafferty. Our spotter is Andrew Klesick. Our statistician is Alex Clausius. Audio graphics supplied tonight by Pat Castro. Our radio network producer is Brandon Hamilton. And Todd Elvig is at the controls in our STSPN simulcast tonight. Another reminder that the Everett Silvertips and the Prince George Cougars are playing tonight at Xfinity Arena in downtown Everett. You can hear that game on our sister station, Classic Country, KXA 1520 and FM 101. Face-off is coming up in about 30 minutes. A pregame show just now getting underway. So it's Lake Stevens and it's Kentlake, and Bill, there's just nothing like playoff football.
It is really exciting. The Lake Stevens side is completely packed. Kentlake has about 3/4 of the visiting stands full. They brought their band too. A little bit of battle of the bands here tonight. Should be a great matchup. It's going to be so interesting to watch Lake Stevens function without Connor Bardew, who's started for the last 2 years after Jacob Eason left and has been phenomenal. But when you have a phenomenal quarterback, there could be quite a bit of talent behind him, just like Bardew when he was a sophomore behind Eason and played so well in mop-up roles and things. So an opportunity for Trey Long and maybe even for Tanner Jellison to run this offense, and an exciting time here in Lake Stevens.
And it's interesting, as Lake Stevens just broke their huddle and came off to the near sideline, it seems like a half a dozen guys already on crutches anyway. So and I know that Mariner, Kamiak, were not playing a 10th week game. They just had too many injured players, and why put all the rest of the players through that?
As players get stronger, faster, have better training regimens, the hits come harder, and then injuries seem to follow, which is really unfortunate. But all they need is 11 healthy guys out on the field, and they can get this thing going.
Tonight's opening kickoff brought to you by Team Fitness. It's your complete fitness, nutrition, and wellness center. That's why they support Lake Stevens High School athletics. Team Fitness, so much under one roof, located on Frontier Circle. Learn more at teamfitnessgyms.com, supporting Lake Stevens High School athletics. And we're getting set for tonight's opening kickoff. Lake Stevens won the toss and they deferred. Kentlake will receive. Here is the approach and the kick, and we're underway, kind of short. It'll be taken at the 15-yard line, 20, and it'll be out to about the 35-yard line. So Mason Homolka will get it on the return, and he'll be out for a 1st and 10 for the Kentlake Falcons.
Starting from tackle to tackle for Kentlake will be Ryan Roller, Ivan Hall, Timothy Engstrom, Christian McFarland, and Caden Salisbury. The tight end is Carson Lucat. The wide receiver is Jeremiah Woods, Jaron Mackey, and Dominic Grundy. The back, Tony Hyman, and the quarterback is Brandon Mortensen.
Brandon Mortensen wearing number 12, standing in the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. They'll run the football, and carrying the football, Tony Hyman will get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. So no.
Casey Kinchin, Austin Murin, Dominic Rivas, and Anthony Hutchison.
Handoff right straight up the middle. That'll be Hyman again. Hyman will get about a 4-yard gain, put him out right straight up the gut, now to about the 36-yard line. So it'll bring up now 3rd down and 6 yards to go for the Kentlake Falcons. Kentlake in their white jerseys with black sleeves, black helmets, black pants, red stripes, and moving from right to left here. Opening quarter just underway, just a little over a minute into the game. Motion man through the formation on 3rd and 6. Back to pass is Mortensen, throws it. Hyman, the intended receiver, had it, turned around, and probably Bill started to run without the football, and then he got popped and he dropped the football. 4th down coming up.
He actually dropped the football before he got hit. That pass from Mortensen just a little bit too high over his head. He tried to kind of loft it, got it too far. And so Lake Stevens, we talked about letting your defense win for you. They have a great defensive series to open the ball game and will force Kentlake to punt the football.
Ian Hansen is deep to receive now for the Lake Stevens Vikings. They put the ball along the ground and then barely gets off the ground on the punt. Hansen will just let it roll by him. So the punter played it one bounce off the snap, picked it up, kicked the football, never got more than about 6.5 feet off the ground, but Mortensen was the punter there, and it's going to be down at the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Lake Stevens Vikings.
Rugby style, and that thing just rolled forever. Let's take it to starting offense for Lake Stevens from tackle to tackle. Devin Kalani, Logan Bruce Jones, Wyatt Hall, Kyler Peck, and Matt Saveo. The tight end is Austin Muir. The wide receivers, Chase Winkler and Anthony Hutchinson. In the slot, Ian Hansen. The running back is Tom Lewis. And your quarterback is Trey Long.
Trey Long, his first start of varsity football, the 6'1", 180-pound junior, will start in the shotgun. Connor Bardew, fractured hand, out for the rest of the season. So Trey Long, it's your football team. Here we go. Motion man back. That's Hansen through the formation. They'll give it to Kayshawn Monorath. He'll head it up for about a 1-yard gain, put him out to about the 27-yard line.
So let's take a look at the starting defense for Kentlake. In the line, Devin Knight, Cameron Pitts, Christian McFarland. The linebackers, Carson Lucas, Max Bolton, Marcus Fula, and Tony Hyman. The defensive backs, Jeremiah Woods, Sam Marash, Hudson Potts, and David Hadsel.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Back to pass is long. His first pass is going to be complete. Bubble screen completed. Hutchinson makes the catch in traffic, gets out to the 31-yard line, pretty close to first down yardage. They're going to give him 8. Will they give him enough? No, they say he was down at the 30, so it's going to bring up 3rd and 1. First one attempt, one completion on the pass to Hutchinson.
That ball flew a little bit off of Trey Long's arm. I'm sure he still has a little bit of butterflies, but Hutchinson made a nice catch to put them in a 3rd and short.
3rd down, 1 yard to go at the 30-yard line for Lake Stevens. Shotgun snap, give it to Monorath, heading around the left-hand side, gets a first down and more. Cuts back against the grain at the 35-yard line, then stacked up as he got to the 37. That's a 7-yard gain, and that'll move the sticks for the Lake Stevens Vikings.
Just a little quick pitch to the left and got great blocking over on the left-hand side for Lake Stevens and pushed him forward, and first down it is.
1st and 10 for Lake Stevens in their black or very, very dark purple uniforms, purple numbers, gold trim, gold pants, purple helmets moving left to right. Scoreless first quarter. Trey Long, empty backfield. He's in the shotgun. Looks left, he's got 2 wide receivers. Looks over to the right, he's got 2 wide receivers. Actually, now Monorath is in the backfield. He was actually behind a pole. That's why I couldn't see him. It looked like an empty backfield from my perch. Give it to Monorath. He'll head up the field. Kind of picks his way carefully, gets stacked up and driven back. They're going to give him 3 yards, though, on the forward progress all the way out to the 41-yard line. Actually, almost 4 yards. And so, Bill, he went 4 yards forward and then about 8 yards back, but they'll give him the 4+.
He's very quick, but just 5'9", 160. And so once he got hit by those defensive linemen, he was popped back quite a ways.
Trey Long wearing the very long hair, flowing locks behind him. Fake on a double fake, and he's going to roll to the right. Looking upfield, eludes one man. He'll run the football, tuck it at the 40, and then takes a pop at the 40-yard line. So it's actually going to lose a yard. And rule number 1, Bill, for a quarterback, don't take the big pop. You got to head out of bounds. You're not wide receiver anymore.
Well, the other thing, once he knew he was running the ball, he's got to wrap that ball up. He was kind of holding it out there, and so tuck it under your arm and go. But the good thing is, receiver's not open, not making a risky play. I'm sure Coach Try said, don't take any chances, just manage the game.
So it'll be 3rd down and 6 yards to go at the 41-yard line for the Vikings. Monorath in the backfield alongside the quarterback Long. One clap, he looks. He's looking to throw. Rolling left, throws. He's going to be tipped up and nearly intercepted, nearly caught, nearly everything. But it falls harmlessly to the AstroTurf, and it'll be an incomplete pass. And so, after a promising looking drive, the Lake Stevens Vikings will have to give up the football.
That's a really difficult pass to complete. He was just sprinting out to his left, trying to throw across his body back to the hash mark, and that ball was tipped up in the air, and then it was anybody's ball. A couple of Kentlake Falcons had a chance for the football, a couple of Lake Stevens Vikings, but nobody got it, and there will be punting situation.
So that will be Hudson Potts deep to receive. Kind of a short kick. They're going to let it bounce. No, he's going to field the ball in traffic. Wow, that's dangerous. And picks it up and gets a couple of yards out to about the 26-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the second drive of the night for the Kentlake Falcons. Let's go down to the field to Luke Windsor on the sidelines in for Frank Foster tonight. Luke.
Well, Tom, something to keep an eye on. Lake Stevens defensive lineman Javon Morris, after that first series, came off limping. Never went to see a trainer, but it'll be interesting to see how effective he is as the game progresses.
So it's 1st and 10 for Kentlake. They'll start this drive at their own 26-yard line. Brandon Mortensen, the 6'2", 190-pound senior quarterback, at the controls, and he is in the shotgun, waiting for the snap here on a 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. Give it to Hyman, the running back, and he's stacked up by the interior defensive line. No gain on the play. Let's talk about the officials tonight. all from the Snohomish County Officials Association. Next week, get into the state playoffs, you start getting some mixed crews or mixed-up crews, depending on who's doing it. Referee Jim Erickson, the umpire Robert Wardell, the linesman James Park, the line judge Joel Taylor, the back judge is Zach Woods. They haven't been very busy yet tonight. It's second down and 10-yard. Watch, it'll be a laundry festival now. From the 26-yard line, back to pass. As he throws, it's going to be complete. Mortensen throws the pass complete out to the right-hand side. That is going to be Carson Lucas who hauls that in and then motors forward for a couple of more after he made the catch, yards after the catch. Give him a 4-yard gain, 3rd and 6 coming up here for the Falcons.
He was converged upon quickly, and a great open field tackle out there by Lake Stevens to prevent more yardage on that play.
3rd down, 6 yards to go for Kentlake out of the North Puget Sound League. Kentlake, white jerseys, black pants, black sleeves. I kind of like their uniforms. Falau is in there. He's going to hand it off. It's going to be a double reverse, heading over to the left-hand side. They're eluding one man at the 26, but not men 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. A whole bunch of guys from the 98258. They're going to be brought down for a loss all the way back of 5 yards to the 25-yard line. Big play defensively for Lake Stevens.
So it went from Fulau and then reversed to Jeremiah Woods, and then a great open field tackle by Austin Calvin, who came all the way across the field and prevented him from getting anything, actually threw him for that loss. So now Kentlake once again will be forced to punt the football away.
And it's Mortensen, the quarterback, that will punt it. Ian Hansen deep to receive, standing at about the 43-yard line. That's going to be a kind of a short kick, and the fair catch is called for right on the L of the LS in the middle of the field here. So it'll be second possession here for the Lake Stevens Vikings. But Bill, they'll start with a pretty good field position.
A great field position now. That opening drive just kind of one to kind of get the butterflies out in a playoff game, and with Trey Long getting his first start, and now you're kind of into the ball game and things should settle down a little bit.
That's Bill Kusler. I'm Tom Lafferty. Luke Windsor's here. Alex Clausius is our statistician. Our spotter, Andrew Klesick. Audio graphics, Pat Castro tonight. STSPN controls is Todd Elvig. Our radio network producer is Brandon Hamilton. Lewis is in the backfield alongside of Trey Long, the quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line. They will give it to Tom Lewis. Spins away from one man and not the 2nd and 3rd. He's going to lose a yard, put him down at the 47-yard line. So Lewis not able to escape the clutches of the defense of the Kentlake Falcons.
I hate to say this, but you know, the last 2 weeks we've had some great defensive battles, some low-scoring games, hard-hitting games. It looks like that's the way this one is going to start also. And I love that throwback to the games of yesteryear when it was a lot of hard-hitting defense. This is fun.
Lewis is alongside. We got 3 wide receivers to the right. That bubble screen is going to be complete. That's going to be Hutchinson, who spins away from Matt at the 50, and then it gets a little more yardage out to about the for about a 6-yard gain. Put him down at the 48-yard line of Kentlake. So first time that Lake Stevens has been in Kentlake territory. It's 3rd down and 6 yards to go here for the Lake Stevens Vikings, now at the Kentlake 48-yard line, right hash mark.
One of the things they miss, you know, with Bardew and Hutchinson, had such a good feel for one another that they could send Hutchinson down deep and Bardew could get rid of the ball very quickly and know exactly where he's going to be. Sometimes when you have a backup, that doesn't occur.
Man out of the backfield as they will throw the screen to Hansen, makes the catch in traffic at the 45 and then stumbles forward. He may get enough, except I think the side judge on the far side is going to come in. He's going to give him 5, not 6, that he needed for the first down. Dropped a yard early, and I think Tom Try, Bill, you got to go for it, don't you?
Yeah, you have to go for it here. It looked to me like he had the first down, but they ruled that his knee must have scraped the turf before that last lunge forward.
So it's going to be 4th down and a yard to go as Lake Stevens goes for it. They're at the Kentlake 42-yard line. Shotgun snap here. As Long, toss it left-hand side. Lewis gets it, heads forward, and he'll get the first down. Not by a lot, but give him a 2-yard gain. Put him down at the 40.5-yard line, and that's enough to move the sticks and keep this drive alive for the Lake Stevens Vikings in a scoreless first quarter with 3:25 to play in the quarter.
And Lake Stevens may end up having to depend on some kickers here. They're struggling to move the ball. If they get it in close, I think any kind of a score is going to be huge.
Lewis standing alongside of the quarterback, Trey Long, who says, "Now move over to the other side, Tom. I need you on this side of me." On 1st and 10, play action pass. Rolling back to pass, throws it down the right side. Hanson's there, makes the catch at the 10, heads across at the 5, and into the end zone. Holds the ball high over his head. That's a touchdown for the Lake Stevens Vikings. 41 yards.
That was an absolutely picture-perfect throw from Trey Long. He made the fake, did a pump fake, froze the cornerback. Hanson had about 5 yards on the defender. He delivered the ball perfectly. Hanson at about the 10-yard line cut back to the left, and then he scampered diagonally across the goal line for 6 points. Tremendous play, Long to Hanson.
Brock Widman will be in to kick the football. Austin Cameron to hold it. Here's the snap. The kick on the way. It's up, and it is good. So with 2 minutes and 58 seconds to play in the first quarter of action, it's the Lake Stevens Vikings 7 and the Kentlake Falcons nothing. This is Western Conference football, playoff style on Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3.
Shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. You not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
So it is going to be Homolka on the return. It'll be 1st and 10 now for the Kentlake Falcons.
That Lake Stevens scoring drive goes 52 yards in 5 plays, 2 on the ground, 3 through the air, taking 3:28 off the clock. A final play, a 41-yard touchdown pass from Trey Long to Ian Hansen. Brock Widman's kick is good, and with 2:58 remaining in the first quarter, Lake Stevens 7, Kentlake 0.
That scoring drive brought to you by Glass by Lund, family operated since 1967, offering the best price, value, and quality installation online at glassbylund.com. It's going to be a quarterback keeper here for Mortensen on 1st and 10. He's going to, it's a Wildcat there as Marcus Fulau will carry it, and he will get about a 7-yard gain out to the 32-yard line.
Just a little bit of a different look, a quick hitter. And Kentlake getting a nice gain on 1st down.
So 2nd down and 2 yards to go at the 33-yard line. It's going to be a shotgun snap, and Hyman will carry. He's going to try to burrow his way out close to the 35-yard line. Going to get a couple. Not quite enough yet to move the sticks. That'll bring up 3rd and about a yard to go here for Kentlake.
So a big play for Kentlake, trying to get that first down of the ball game, trailing by 7. Lake Stevens' defense has been tough. They've held Kentlake to a total of 12 yards here in the first quarter, and we're just about 2 minutes away from the end of quarter number 1.
3rd down and a yard to go at the 33-yard line for the Kentlake Falcons. Hyman is in the backfield alongside the quarterback, Mortensen. Shotgun snap, gets it. Hyman carries, not going to happen. It's not going to get it. He's going to be stacked up for no gain at the 34-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down here for Kentlake.
Kentlake uses that kind of delayed handoff to try to fool the defense into thinking that it's going to be a fake and a throw, but by the time that play develops, the Lake Stevens defensive line is already about 3 yards downfield, and it looks like Kentlake's going to go for it.
Kentlake is going for it on 4th down and a yard to go. Going under center now is Mortensen. He'll try for the quarterback sneak.
Well,
I don't think he's going to get it.
I don't know.
He's going to get crowded there. A big crowd he draws at the 34 and a half and 3/4 yard line.
They're giving him a good spot, so this is going to be really, really close.
as he needed to get really the nose of the football just across the 35-yard line. And are they going to, what's going to happen here? Are they going to bring this? I would think Jim Erickson is going to bring the sticks in. No, he's going to give him the first down. A 1-yard gain. Wow.
The Lake Stevens crowd was furious with that spot, and I can't say as I can blame them. It looked like it gave him a good half-yard further than he actually was able to go. But that's the call. First down, Kentlake, their first down of the game.
At the 35-yard line, the quarterback is Mortensen. Hyman is back there. He'll fake it to him. He'll be chased out of the pocket. Down he will go for the sack. Mortensen went for that fake handoff to Tony Hyman and then was going to stand up to throw the ball, but he saw, it's the old, I saw nothing but purple.
Ryan Sander was the one in there, but Saveo was in it from the other side to turn him back, and then Sander finished him off. You know, we talked about one of the keys to the ball game would be protecting Mortensen, and that time the Lake Stevens sackmeisters from the defensive end positions were right there.
And they will bring him down for a 7-yard loss. Brings up 2nd and long with just 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Shotgun snap, standing strong, throwing it incomplete. Intended receiver was Hyman out of the backfield. Could not make that catch, a little bit overthrown. Brings up 3rd down and 17 yards to go with just 8 seconds to play in this opening quarter. A 7-0 lead for Lake Stevens.
Mortensen has just not been really sharp with that pass. He's attempted to throw that flat pass about 3 times, and twice it's been over the head of the intended receiver.
So the ball boy's a little late getting the ball in. It's not raining, so that's good news. It was snowing on the way out here, and it's a cold night for football. And here we go. Stacked up, trip set left on the left-hand side. The air raid offense, but they will run the football. That's going to be a quarterback keeper. I think that's kind of looks like a broken play. Or was he supposed to lose a yard?
No, I think they were just trying to do some misdirection, not wanting to take a big chance, trailing only by 7 with that much to go. But that didn't do anything. Yeah, Kentlake has 5 total yards here in the first quarter as the first quarter ends. So great defensive effort for the Vikings.
And we'll take a break at the end of the first quarter. It's Lake Stevens 7, Kentlake nothing. This is Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3.
Chevy trucks. We think it's because Chevrolets are
the most dependable
trucks.
Built to last a long time. With durable durability and ruggedness. Son of a gun. Chevrolet pickups are designed and built better than ever, giving you a smooth, solid ride since 1918. I like the extra power, hauling power, super powerful,
Nasty power!
and quality.
Seems they make them
Extra strong.
stronger every year.
Chevy trucks are built for work.
hard work.
And for play.
That's why Chevy's the best truck.
Mile after mile.
Here, Ian Hansen will field it at the 41-yard line, heading upfield at the 45 and spun down at the 47-yard line. So Kentlake has to give up the football on the punt. Lake Stevens will take it with a 7-0 lead, and they'll start in really good field position, just about the same spot they started their last drive. They'll start this one from the 47-yard line. Let's go down the field to Luke Windsor on the sideline. Luke.
Well, Tom and Bill, something that's been very apparent at field level is there's a definite size advantage that Lake Stevens has over Kentlake. So as they continue to run the ball early in this game, just think of it as body blows in a boxing match, where eventually it'll wear out the Kentlake Falcons defense, where the 3 and 4 yard gains now start to kind of 8 and 10 yarders later in the game.
So it'll be first down, 10 yards to go for Lake Stevens. They'll start this drive from their own 47-yard line. Trey Long is the quarterback, in for Connor Bardou, who had hand surgery. Handed off to left-hand side to Monorath, across a 50 and down to the 47-yard line before he steps out of bounds. That's a gain of about 7 yards, and it'll bring up second down and about 3 yards to go as Lake Stevens again enters Kentlake territory.
There's so much diversity in the Lake Stevens offense. That time was a fly sweep action. They had Monorath split out to the right and then comes in motion and then grabs that fly sweep and had a nice gain. He now has 4 carries for 20 yards.
Second down, 3 yards to go. Austin Calvin now checks in at the running back spot, but Monorath Calvin will get it around the left-hand side at the 40, 35, 30, jumps off a man at the 30 and still runs down to about the 27-yard line before he's gang tackled there. He was like a pinball going down and just banging off of players and finally brought down inside the 25 or right around the 25-yard line.
That time they faked the fly sweep to Monorath and then kind of a little inside reverse action coming back to the left with Calvin. He got 14 yards, just nice running, some power running for Calvin.
At the 27-yard line, it's first down, 10 yards to go for Lake Stevens. They have a 7-0 lead. And now Trey Long will be in an empty backfield, and we're going to have a timeout whistled here defensively by Kentlake, and we'll step aside with 11 minutes and 17 seconds to play in the first half. It's Lake Stevens 7, Kentlake nothing. This is Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3.
All frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi ductless heat pumps allow you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. Because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Falcons, Bill, have to call a timeout on defense. I think they're just kind of a little bit on their heels.
A little bit on their heels, and they saw a formation that they hadn't seen before, and Lake Stevens had 3 receivers out to the right, and they did not have enough defensive backs out there to catch them, so the coaching staff for Kentlake very wisely called a timeout to adjust.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lake Stevens Vikings. They'll show them the same look. Double wideouts to the left. They'll put a man in motion from the left, and then he sets up in the backfield. And now we're going to have our first flag of the night. And we're going to have a false start here. We're going to have illegal participation. It's going to be a dead ball foul.
It's like perhaps encroachment.
Oh, defensive encroachment. And so it's going to be enter the neutral zone. That's Kentlake. So the first penalty of the night goes against the Kentlake Falcons. The Vikings say, we'll take it. That's a free $5 and put it down at the 22-yard line. Left hash mark. It'll be 1st and 5 for Lake Stevens. They will go with a man in the backfield now as they're going to throw the ball over the right-hand side. It's going to be complete to Hutchinson at the 15. Then stiff arms a man and goes out of bounds inside the wall. Put him out of bounds at the 12-yard line. So into the red zone go the Lake Stevens Vikings.
I am so impressed with Trey Long so far. He just delivered that ball with force right on the money. And Long is now 5 for 6 for 70 yards and 1 TD.
So from the 12-yard line, it's first down, 10 yards to go for the Lake Stevens Vikings. At the Kentlake 12-yard line, shotgun snap, motion man, handed to the motion man around the left-hand side. That's Monorath, eludes a man at the 10, cuts back at the 5, and then steps out of bounds right at the 5-yard line. That's going to be a 7-yard gain for Monorath on the carry. And Bill, we kind of talked about it before the game. Run a lot of fly sweeps if you don't have your starting quarterback, although Long's done a great job.
He has. That was wonderful quickness by Monorath. He just outran the linebacker that was trying to converge on him and got around the corner.
So it'll be second down and 3 yards to go at the 5-yard line. They can get a first down without going into the end zone. Monorath is in the backfield alongside Trey Long, waiting for the snap. Here it is. Give it to Monorath, a little toss around the left-hand side. He looks for the pylon, doesn't quite get it, but most importantly, he steps out of bounds at about the 2-yard line. I think that's enough for a first down. It will be. It'll be now first down, goal to go at the 2-yard line.
This offense has just been very, very efficient. Workmanlike, businesslike. They haven't missed a beat.
Well, you know, they kind of make fun of some quarterbacks that are game managers. Sometimes you just need a game manager.
Yeah,
that's exactly what's happening. And they're managing to find their way down the field, and they're now first down, goal to go for Lake Stevens at the 2-yard line. Calvin in the backfield alongside Trey Long. Waiting for the snap, shotgun snap, give it to Calvin. He goes straight up the middle and into the end zone. That's a 2-yard dive for Calvin and a touchdown for Lake Stevens.
Austin Calvin is kind of their straight-ahead bull runner, and they put him in, and he just powered his way into the end zone. And Lake Stevens, you talk about you can go two ways. When you face adversity, they are going the right way as they pick up their second touchdown of the ball game.
Brock Widman to kick the football here for the addition of the extra point. And waiting for the snap here with 10:50 to play in this opening quarter. Lake Stevens have put up 2 touchdowns here in this first half. Widman to kick the extra point. Waiting for the snap, and here it is. The placement, the kick on the way, airborne up, and it is good. With 10 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first half of action, it's a Lake Stevens Vikings 14. The Kentlake Falcons nothing. This is Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3. Okay.
All frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi ductless heat pumps allow you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. Because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Because it looked for a while like he was going to be able to pop around that outside, but the cornerback on that side kept contained, forced him back in, and then he got a lot of help bringing him down.
So it's second down, 11 yards to go. Mortensen throws it way long, incomplete pass. The intended receiver was Sam Morash, but that's going to be an incomplete pass way over his head. Incomplete brings up third down and 11 yards to go for Kentlake.
Anthony Hutchison and Dominic Rivas both were out there and had him blanketed. Kentlake's lucky that ball was overthrown because there was great coverage on the play.
You're just making fun of Luke now by saying blanket, because he would really like to have a blanket. It's so cold down there.
I would never make fun of Luke, no way.
We'll go to him in just a moment here. Third down and 11 yards to go at the 30-yard line. Back to pass, throwing too high, incomplete, and then decked as soon as he got the football. So, again, Morash was the intended receiver. Let's go down to Luke. Do you have a blanket, Luke?
I really wasn't thinking about that until you brought it up, Tom, so that's actually on you. What really stood out in that last drive is Mortensen, the quarterback, and that long throw that he overthrew his receiver. He just did not look comfortable. I think it's apparent already that the Lake Stevens pass rush has gotten into his head a little bit because he's hearing footsteps already in the pocket.
So it'll be fourth down, 11 yards to go. Hansen is back to receive at the 40-yard line. Very low kick, and it's going to go out of bounds just across the 50. In fact, it kind of bounced right on the 45 exactly. Funny how that worked. 45-yard line exactly. It'll be first and 10 for Lake Stevens Trying to tack another one on here, leading 14-0 with 9:54 to go here in the first half.
Lake Stevens has had the great field position all game long. They've started drives on the 48, the 47, and this time on the 45-yard line. So with a 2-touchdown lead, definitely in the driver's seat.
The winner of this game will host the winner of tomorrow night's game between North Puget Sound League Olympic number 3, Todd Beamer, the Titans, and South Puget Sound League number 2, Graham Kapowson Eagles. A game being played tomorrow at Art Crate Field in Bethel. First down, 10 yards to go for Lake Stevens from the 45-yard line. They'll give it to Lewis around the right-hand side, 50 at the 45, still running at the 40, up the right side, outside the numbers to the 35-yard line. Tom Lewis on the carry all the way down to the 34-yard line, a 21-yard running play.
Getting great balance is Lake Stevens as well with that 21-yard run. They've got 72 yards rushing and 70 yards passing. The play calling has just kept Kentlake totally uncomfortable on the defensive side of the football.
And it's first down, 10 yards to go, and more importantly, probably the clock continues to move. We're inside 9.5 minutes to play now in this first half. First and 10 at the 34-yard line for Lake Stevens. Lewis gets it again, and he'll head upfield. This time not outside, but inside the run, and down to the 31-yard line for a 3-yard gain.
Just between the tackles, just strength, bowling forward with the offensive line, and even when Kentlake has it kind of bottled up, it's a 3 or 4 yard gain.
So Lake Stevens on the drive here with a 14-0 lead, second down and 7 yards to go. These two teams met in the quad districts in 2012. Lake Stevens got the best of Kentlake 67-33. So second down and 8 yards to go. Around the left, right to Lewis. Lewis will get it across the 25 down to the 24-yard line. That's a 7-yard gain on Lewis's carry, and he'll move the sticks. Another first down for the Lake Stevens Vikings.
Direct snap straight to Lewis. Just another look, another thing for the Kentlake defense to have to worry about. And it's a nice plow forward for first down. Now Lewis 32 yards on 5 carries.
Lake Stevens are with their 8th first down of this first half. 1 for Kentlake here in the game so far. At the 24-yard line, it's first and 10. Shotgun snap, empty backfield. Now Long will have to escape. He'll elude the man. He's got a man wide open. It's complete at the 5, and Lewis is in the end zone. Touchdown. Tom Lewis hauls it in. He did the most important thing. Your quarterback's in trouble. Hey, Trey, here I am. Hit me. And he did at the 5, and he danced into the end zone for a touchdown.
That was all about Trey Long extending the play with his feet. And then it looked like he was going to run, and all of a sudden he saw the running back all by himself in the end zone, and just an easy toss and 24-yard gain. And then Long now, just an ordinary day at the office, 6 for 7, 94 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow. Brock Widman to kick the football for the addition of the extra point as the Vikings set to go up, and they will with the addition of the extra point. A 21-0 lead for Lake Stevens over Kentlake. 8:17 to go in the first half. We'll come back live to Lake Stevens right after this timeout.
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
Actually, they're not in the area. They're way down south in Birmingham. Peninsula 7, Snohomish nothing in the first quarter. And also, Monroe is in the area. They're at home against Mount Si tonight. 15-8, Monroe's lead over the Mount Si Wildcats. Cade Millen, the quarterback for Mount Si. One of the Husky hunks. Is it, Bill? All of our quarterback heroes have kids that are playing.
That's right. That means we are indeed
old.
Potts
on the return. 10, 15. Oh, ouch. He gets out to about the 22-yard line, and that was it, and that was a sudden stop when he did get up. That's the one good thing, is he got really hit hard at the 22 by Junior Robinson.
All right, so Lake Stevens on that last drive, 55 yards in 4 plays, taking 1:37 off the clock, a 24-yard touchdown pass from Trey Long to Tom Lewis. Brock Widman's kick is good, and with 8:17 remaining in the half, Lake Stevens 21, Kentlake 0.
Kentlake with just 1 first down. Hyman will get the carry against this interior defensive line, and not a lot of room. He'll get about a 3-yard gain. That scoring update brought to you by the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Store. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware folks. Stop by and visit Greg and Christine Egelstad at the Lake Stevens Ace Hardware Store. Bill, that little space heater right there.
Yeah, from Ace Hardware.
Yeah.
I love them there. They are great.
So,
you know, I'm sorry, Tom. The keys to the game, I went down from Kentlake. I forgot to say they need to get a first down once in a while.
that. So 2nd down, 7 yards to go for Kentlake. Ball at the right hash mark. Hyman will carry. Not a lot of running room there. Tony Hyman, the 5'7", 190-pound senior, right around 2 yards, put him out to the 28, about the 27 and a half. So it brings up another 3rd down play here for the Falcons from Kentlake.
Well, Kentlake has had some receivers open in the flat, but Mortensen has just flat out missed them, and they have had some openings. So let's see if he can bring the ball down a little bit and get a first down here.
3rd down, 4 yards to go. Swing pass left-hand side. Hyman, no, he's going to lose yard. Through that swing pass around the left side, and they're going to lose 3 yards back to the 25-yard line. Brings up 4th down.
And Mortensen now is 3 for 6 for a net of 0 yards passing.
So on the loss on the play, it'll be 4th down and 7 yards to go here for Kentlake. Hansen will be deep, standing. Again, they're going to have great starting field position on the punt here. High snap. The kick is away. Very poor kick. Is going to get a first down, and barely. It's going to get out to the 45. It will roll to the 50 and a half, or the 49 and a half from the other side. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Well, they'll start at the 50 and a half yard line.
Lake Stevens' defense has been outstanding. They've given up a total of 6 yards to Kentlake here in a quarter and a half, and that's the story. They've given their offense some great starting field position, 3 drives starting between their own 45 and the 50, and 3 touchdowns to go for it.
Lake Stevens won their 7th consecutive Wesco 4A title with last week's victory over Monroe. 7 straight titles. Wow. Trip set right, 1st and 10, 49-yard line of Lake Stevens. Trey Long play action pass, throws the screen. It's going to be completed at the 50, at the 45. That's Hutchinson at the 40. Eludes another man at the 38, and then finally going to be brought down. Wow. He looked like a slalom skier heading down the hill, because he goes 13 yards on the pass play. That little bubble screen works to perfection. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Lake Stevens, now into Kentlake territory.
And as impressive as that run was after the catch, the fact that pass was really low and he had to go down and get it, and Hutchinson really helped out his quarterback.
Down to 5:55 to play in the first half, a 21-0 lead. Monerath in the backfield, standing beside Trey Long. Trip set left, wide side of the field. They'll roll to the left. They'll throw complete. Hansen at the 35-30. And Hansen then stood up as he got down to about the 26-yard line. That's a 12-yard pass play and another Lake Stevens first down.
Long looks so confident out there right now.
11 first downs here in this first quarter. Just domination by Lake Stevens. First half, 5:35 to play. They'll roll the clock on a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line, left hash mark. Moving from right to left in their very dark purple jerseys, purple helmets, gold pants, white trim. Trey Long in for Connor Bardew, who hurt his hand last week and is out for the rest of the year. Monerath gets it on the carry across the 25 and heads upfield to the 22-yard line. That's a 4-yard gain for Kayshawn Monerath, and brings up now 2nd down and about 6 yards to go for the Vikings. Threatening again, putting another one in here in this first half.
Really interesting to see how long Kentlake can maintain their intensity. It's cold out there. They're away from home. They're down by 3 touchdowns. And sometimes it kind of takes a little bit away from the
I
heart.
want to go home. I'm cold. We better not make fun. We're not making fun. We're having fun.
I wasn't.
Thanks. Second down. Back to pass. Throwing the bubble screen complete. Hansen kind of stiff arms the man at the 20 and brought down there. Couple of yards on that screen pass. A 2-yard gain. It brings him to the 20-yard line. Now third down, 3 yards to go here for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Inside 5 minutes to play in the first half.
To elaborate a little bit on what I was saying, when your offense has struggled that much, you have 1 first down, you have 6 total yards. It's just really hard to keep that emotion going.
Third down, 4 yards to go. About 3.5 yards to go from the 20-yard line. Rolling right, throwing. He's going to be complete at the 20, 15, 10, up the right sideline and out of bounds. The ball was hauled in there, and then for a 14-yard gain, and that was Austin Murin, who's been kind of quiet tonight. First time he's touched the football, and he gets a first down and puts him into the red zone, and actually inside, it's going to be first down goal to go at the 5 for the Lake Stevens Vikings.
I probably shouldn't say Connor who.
No, it's too soon.
No,
too soon.
No, I know, but Long has been phenomenal.
First down, goal to go at the 5-yard line. Shotgun snap. Monorath heads to the right side. Not this time. Kentlake says, not so fast, my friend. So bring him down for a 0-yard gain. Leading the charge there was Tony Hyman from his defensive back position to make the stop. Brings up now second down, goal to go for Lake Stevens at the 5-yard line.
Now for Kentlake, anything positive right now would be really important for them. If they could just hold Lake Stevens to a field goal here, maybe that could transfer over to a little momentum on the offensive side.
Ball at the right-hand hash mark just inside the 5-yard line. Second down, goal to go from the 5. Give it to Monorath heading upfield. Monorath looking for the goal line. He can smell it from there, but he can't find it yet. In fact, he's going to be brought down after about a 4-yard gain, by Xavier Thomas. And that is one of my favorite Xavier, X-Zavier. Xavier. I like it. Third down, goal to go at the 2-yard line. So after the 3-yard gain, quad set to the left. 4 wide receivers. Long looks, throws, fires, touchdown. Touchdown, 2 yards deep in the end zone. Austin Murin hauls it in for the Lake Stevens score.
Just a little roll to the left, and Murin, a couple of receivers go deep into the end zone. He's only about a half-yard inside the goal line. The ball fired in there. Nice catch, score, and Lake Stevens running away with this thing. I expected a great defensive effort from them. I didn't realize that their offense would not miss a beat, and they look like every Lake Stevens team we've seen in the past 4 years.
Brock Widman to kick the extra point for the Lake Stevens Vikings. He does. On the way, it's up, and it is right straight down the gut. 2 minutes and 38 seconds to play in the first half of action. The Lake Stevens Vikings 28, and the Kentlake Falcons nothing. Western Conference football in the playoffs on Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3.
Know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
The kick, it's going to be kind of a low line drive, and the return man says, I'm not going to touch it. It goes out of bounds, so that'll bring it out to the 35-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Kentlake Falcons.
Lake Stevens, for the 4th time, this time 51 yards in 8 plays, 3 on the ground, 5 through the air. They took 3:31 off the clock. The final play, a 2-yard touchdown pass from Trey Long to Austin Murin. Brock Widman's kick once again is good, and with 2:38 remaining in the first half, Lake Stevens, it's the Vikings 28, Kentlake 0.
So from the 35-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for Kentlake. Tony Hyman in the backfield, standing next to Brandon Mortensen, the quarterback. Shotgun snap, hand off. Hyman will kind of burrow his way forward, get about a 5-yard gain out close. In fact, they'll put him down for a 4-yard gain to the 39-yard line. That scoring update brought to you by Major League Pizza, offering the best pizza and sandwiches in Everett. Try one of their nearly 30 All-Star Gourmet pizzas. They hit the spot, and Major League Pizza delivers. You'll find them on Colby Avenue in downtown Everett and online at majorleaguepizza.com. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Back to pass Mortensen. Now he's being chased. And down he will go for the sack back at the 24-yard line. He couldn't hide there, and he just got chased and chased and chased, and a 13-yard loss on the quarterback sack. Ryan Sander leads the charge for Lake Stevens.
Wow. They had 3 defensive linemen there grabbing at him. Sander was the one that finally brought him down, but what a tremendous rush. And with that sack, Kentlake goes into the negative yardage for the ball game, -3 yards gained.
So 3rd down, 20 yards to go at the 25-yard line. The quarterback's going to keep it. He's just going to keep it himself and head out to the 30 and then get stacked up at about the 32. So give him about 7 yards out to the 32-yard line on the quarterback keeper by Mortensen. Down to 1:22 to go in the first half.
Kentlake averaged almost 24 points per ball game offensively this year, so it's not that they have an inept offense. It's been Lake Stevens has been phenomenal on the defensive end.
Well, interesting. I feel like I'm in an NFL game. Tom Try called time out there. Preserve some time, get the ball back. Punch another one in.
Yep.
Let's go down to Luke Windsor on the sideline. Luke.
Well, guys, to build on Bill's point earlier, but Kentlake needs something good to happen for them. After that last touchdown by Lake Stevens, you can just tell the body language of the Falcons has really changed visibly, and not for the better. They really just seem almost ready to call it a night because they're getting beat. They've only gotten 1 first down. Really, nothing's gone right for them at all tonight. So it's really interesting to watch as the game goes on, their body language and their effort.
So that brings up a 4th down, 13 yards to go. Coming up at the half, we're going to get a scoring update and run down the scores from other playoff games going on around the area and up and down the state, and give you a setup for what's happening tomorrow as well. 1:22 to play in this first half. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Snohomish County PUD. The PUD has been your community energy partner for more than 65 years, offering smart ways to help you save energy and lower your bill. Check out their website at snowpud.com for more smart rewards, smart rebates, and smart ideas. Punting time now. After Lake Stevens called that timeout, they've got 2 remaining. It's not going to fire. It's going to be a fake. He's going to throw the pass. Mortensen will into traffic, overthrown, incomplete. Turn it over on downs at the 32-yard line. Smart timeout there by Tom Try. They've got the very short field and 1:13 to go with 2 timeouts.
You know, you might think that that's kind of a weird call on 4th down, but you're down by 4 touchdowns. Why not just try to make a big play and get something going? It did not go Kentlake's way, but I do not fault the call.
No, Alex Lopez was the intended receiver, but he was in traffic and the ball was overthrown. So here comes the Lake Stevens offense. It'll be 1st down, 10 yards to go for Lake Stevens from the 32-yard line. Ball in the center of the field. The quarterback is Trey Long. Lewis is to his left. 3 wide, actually 4, 1 or 2 each way. I'll get my numbers right. Back to pass. Now Long's being chased. Rolls to the right. Looking to get rid of it. He does. Unloads it to the track on the far sideline. Got past the line of scrimmage and just unloaded it. Smart play there, Bill. Get rid of it and don't take the big loss.
That's a veteran move there, just to throw that ball away. Again, extending the play with his legs. He's really shifty, getting out of the pocket when he's in trouble. He was being chased, and he just waited, threw the ball. He did have a receiver in the area, but threw it over his head on purpose and out of bounds. good heads-up play.
1 minute, 4 seconds to play. Clock is stopped after the incomplete pass. Empty backfield here for Trey Long. He's a 6'1", 180-pound junior with a long flowing blonde hair underneath his helmet, wearing number 4. Taken away from the fly sweep man. He throws it incomplete. Incomplete pass as it was going to be a screen pass, so they let the blitzers come through. Didn't quite work out the right way that time.
Yeah, he got knocked on his pockets, was lucky to get that ball away, and lucky that ball wasn't picked off.
So 3rd down, 10 yards to go here for Lake. That play only took a couple of seconds. We're down to 1:02 to play. A 28-0 lead for the Vikings. And they're facing now a 3rd down, 10 yards to go at the 32-yard line. Trey Long in the shotgun, puts a man in motion. That's Lewis out of the backfield. He'll set up, but he'll now scamper forward, and down he will go. Nobody open downfield that he wanted to throw to. It's going to be a gain of a couple of yards, put him down to the 30-yard line, and the clock will run with 47 seconds to go. Max Bolton comes in, and not a sack because he did get positive yardage, but 4th down coming up here for Lake Stevens, and they'll go for it here.
The only criticism I can have of Long is when he starts running the ball, he doesn't tuck it in right away. That's a fumble waiting to happen. He really needs to wrap that ball up.
So Long drops back on 4th down. Again, being chased out of the pocket, but throws it. Lewis makes the catch. That's Lewis at the 20. That's Lewis at the 10. And brought down there, down to 16 seconds to go. They will stop the clock to move the chains. Will they call a timeout here? So on a 4th down and 8 yards to go, they go for it and get a 20-yard gain and go into the red zone all the way down, and a timeout called here by the Lake Stevens Vikings.
Lake Stevens already with 248 yards here in the first half.
Let's go down to the field to Luke Windsor on the sideline. Luke.
Yeah, great play call there by Coach Tom Try. I think Kentlake, in an effort to get something going, they sent an all-out blitz, and it worked against them with that screen pass. And with about 15 seconds left, I think with Lake Stevens having one timeout, almost everything will either be past the sticks or even into the end zone as far as pass plays go.
Yeah, Bill, they got one timeout remaining. almost 16 seconds, 15.7 seconds to go.
Yeah, you can risk one play short. You could risk one running play. But right, with 15 seconds, you're going to need to go to the end zone. They're well within field goal range, so that's another opportunity for them.
So it'll be 1st down, goal to go for Lake Stevens at the Kentlake 9-yard line. 1st and goal from the 9. Long is by himself in the backfield. 3 wide receivers to the left side. Really close to the formation, though. Everybody close to the formation here. On a 1st and goal from the 9. Shotgun snap, rolling out is Long. Looking to the end zone, fires incomplete. Incomplete pass.
Hutchinson was well covered, and I think he drilled it into his feet on purpose, not risk the turnover there.
So 11.2 seconds to go. 2nd down, goal to go at the 9-yard line for the Vikings. Leading at 28-0 as we're heading toward halftime here.
Got to be a little bit careful. You run one play here. If you don't get it, I'm thinking, even if it's just 3rd down, you might want to go for the field goal at that point.
So 2nd down, goal to go at the 9-yard line for Lake Stevens. As Long brings him up, empty backfield. He's standing in the shotgun, standing at about the 15-yard line. Motion man is Monorath, but Long will keep it himself and be dropped for a loss back at the 11-yard line, down to 5, down to 4, and they will call their final timeout with 4 seconds to go, and that'll bring the field goal unit onto the field.
Good job just keeping the ball in the middle of the field so you don't have a really strong angle one way or the other, and so Lake Stevens trying with this last play of the first half to attack 3 more on the board.
So the kicker is Brock Widman. The ball will be placed, just about the center of the field at the 18-yard line. So this will be a 28-yard field goal attempt for Widman. And Lake Stevens had called the timeout. And they're going to be talking with the coach here as Tom Try comes out onto the field, calling their final timeout.
Kentlake would just love to get a hand on this thing. Anything to have something positive to talk about going into the locker room.
So they're done. The Lake Stevens Vikings have completed their talk with Tom Try, heading out onto the field. And here come the Kentlake Falcons. They'll set up defensively, but looking for the field goal here. A 28-yard field goal attempt for Brock Widman with 4 seconds to go in the first half. Waiting for the snap here. Play is ready. Here we go. Here comes the snap. The spot, the kick on the way, plenty of leg. It's up, and it is plenty good for the 28-yard field goal for Brock Widman. And with 0.9 seconds to go, you mean the timer couldn't have just left his thumb on the switch just a 9/10 of a second longer?
I was wondering the same thing, but Lake Stevens scores on 5 consecutive drives after being forced to punt with their first possession. The next 5 possessions, 4 touchdowns and a field goal to go up 31-zip.
Let's go down the field to Luke Windsor. Luke.
Yeah, for weather to update, it's getting colder. But you know what? Now that my top layer of exposed skin has gone numb, I'm fine. But definitely, you can tell the momentum is definitely on the Lake Stevens sideline. I've scored 31 answered points, so they're definitely feeling good going into halftime. And I'll try to get a word in with Coach Try at the half.
We will see if we can hear from the coach. He's got to be pretty happy the way his team has responded without their starting quarterback, Connor Bardu, who went down with a hand injury after the Monroe game and is out for the rest of the year. Waiting for the approach and the kick. It's going to be Potts who will field it at the 15, 20, 25, at the 30, at the 35, and out of bounds. And that will bring us to the end of the first half of action here at Lake Stevens High School. And Luke Windsor will make his way over to the head coach, Tom Try, to get his comments here. A quick comment on the play of the Lake Stevens Vikings. Not much to complain about here with a 31-0 lead over the Kentlake Falcons. And let's go to Luke right now. Luke.
Coach, how do you assess Trey Long's first half as a starting quarterback?
Well, he got his feet wet tonight. You can tell he was a little rattled, a little nervous first series. But overall, I'm really pleased with what I've seen him do. He's making pretty good reads. He's getting the ball out on time. He's been accurate. And he's made some guys miss and made some broken plays turn into positive plays. And that's his athleticism coming into work. So overall, he's doing a great job.
And then defensively, you only allowed 1 first down tonight. Is it just going to be more of the same in the second half?
I sure hope so. That'd be great. I had 2 first downs all night against a pretty good Kentlake team. We'd take that all night. Our defense is really setting the tone for us. They knew that we had a young quarterback and that they were going to have to pick up their level of play and kind of carry us tonight. And so far, they've done every bit of that and then some.
All right, thank you, Coach. Best of luck wishes to you.
You bet. Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Lake Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, we are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical would like to take this opportunity to thank you for giving us a chance to earn your business. In the next few moments, we will present a broad overview of our company and what goes on behind the scenes that sets us apart from our competitors. GNS was founded in 1977. Since then, we have grown to become a well-known leader in the Puget Sound area for residential, commercial HVAC, and electrical services. Our newest location in Everett is just over 8,000 square feet, with nearly 2,000 feet dedicated to our office staff. It houses our call center, accounting, scheduling, sales, and system design departments. 5,000 square feet of our new facility is for our vast inventory of heat pumps, furnaces, ducting, electrical wiring, and associated parts. Our fabrication shop is just over 1,000 square feet. This is where we custom fabricate each sheet metal fitting specifically for your home or building. GNS receives shipments of new...
Your dreams evolve, and with committed support, they thrive. American Family Insurance.
Ian Hansen deep to receive here for Lake Stevens to receive this second half kickoff. The kicker is Tyler Hopp for Kentlake. Here is the approach, and the kick is away. They'll try an onside kick, fielded nicely by Lake Stevens, who the man got it at about the 49-yard line, so it did go the required 10 yards, but only 11, and fielded there by Lake Stevens. So the Vikings get it 1st and 10, another short field. They'll start at the 49-yard line. Any port in the storm, Bill, you got to do something.
They have 4 touchdown drives between 45 and 49 yards or from the 45 to the 49-yard line, I should say, and this one's starting at the 49. So we'll see more of the same. It'll be really interesting to see how long they leave Trey Long in. For one thing, they want him to get more experience, but on the other hand, you certainly don't want him to get hurt.
Right.
And so that'll be an interesting decision for Tom Try to make along the way.
First down, 10 yards to go. Monorath will get it on the fly sweeper on the right-hand side at the 50, 45, 40. At the 35, outside the numbers at the 30. At the 25 and 20. Cuts back at the 15, but they say he stepped out of bounds at the 15-yard line. That's a 36-yard running play into the red zone. First and 10 for Lake Stevens.
Well, Luke mentioned the body language on the Kentlake bench going into halftime.
It just
and
got
how
worse.
They felt kind of
Yeah.
deflated, and it kind of showed on that play, just not a lot of pursuit going out there after he broke through on the sweep.
So from the 15-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go for Lake Stevens. The quarterback is Trey Long. Connor Bardu out, hand injury, and already a timeout called by Kentlake. And we're 30 seconds in to the second half of action, and the Falcons call timeout. We'll step aside. 11:30 to play, third quarter. Vikings 31, Falcons nothing. Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3.
You guys need to show me that you still want to play. We may not win this ball game, or we might not be close, but we need to play with some intensity. And if you can't do it, then we'll find somebody on the bench that can.
Or somebody's going to be walking home from Lake Stevens to Kent. It's a long walk in the cold. 15-yard line, first down, 10 yards to go. Long gets a shotgun snap. Give it to Calvin up the middle, across the 10. Calvin down to the 8-yard line. It was a 7-yard gain, and a flag comes down from the side judge on the far side. And we will get the indication here. Jim Erickson is the referee. And it happened on the side, which usually kind of means some kind of procedure, I would think.
That's an interesting. If it was a procedure call, they would blow the play dead. So I don't know. They're talking about it for a long time, but Lake Stevens is backing up. Personal foul.
Personal foul against the Lake Stevens Vikings. Jim Erickson, the referee, the umpire, Robert Wardell, linesman James Park, line judge Joel Taylor, Zach Woods is the back judge. See if Luke Windsor had a good look at that one for the personal foul.
Well, Tom, the flag came in. The flag came in late, so I don't know for sure what it is. The referee didn't make the call now.
Did he just signal a dead ball foul?
Dead ball foul. So I guess. So something happened, a little extracurricular activity after the
play is what it must have been, and what a dumb thing, for Lake Stevens to do, as well as they've been playing.
Yeah, so they will take the penalty, of course, and that'll back it up all the way to the 23-yard line. So it'll be second down and, well, what are you going to call it, about 18, 19 yards to go. Second and 19 from the 23-yard line. Trey Long now hand off to Monorath. First door is closed, so we'll try around the corner, and he will get a couple of yards down to the 23-yard line. Was trying to go straight forward. That closed off very quickly, and so then he just kind of bounced it out to the outside, got to the 22-yard line. So gets a couple of yards, put him down to the 22-yard line. It'll bring up now third down and long for Lake Stevens.
Looks like Lake Stevens going a little bit more conservatively to begin this second half.
Yeah, of course, now you start thinking that you don't need to show Graham Kapowson everything in the arsenal, especially now that they're going to look at a new quarterback. Long will throw it. Monorath, no, he can't make the catch. Incomplete pass, I do believe. They're not going to say that was a catch.
You look up on Wikipedia what it looks like when you start running before you have the football in your hands, and that video is going to come up.
Yeah, he was turning and heading up, but he didn't complete the process of making the catch. So it'll bring up 4th down here for Lake Stevens. They'll go for it here. I don't think they're going to try to tack on a.
That'd be a 39-yard attempt. That's kind of pushing it in Widman's range.
So it's 4th down, 18 yards to go here for Lake Stevens. As long will play action pass, drops back. He's got a man open. Can he escape one man? He does. Flag down. Now he's still running with a football, heading upfield down to the 20-yard line. Bill, you said it about 5 minutes ago. How long do you play him and you don't want him to get hurt?
Yeah, Tom tries over at the sideline going, are you crazy? Get rid of the ball. Get rid of the ball.
There's going to be a hold here.
But it was 4th down. They're going to decline it because they have the football.
So declining the penalty will be the Kentlake Falcons. They'll take the football back, turn it over on downs. Now, holding penalty against Lake Stevens declined. Turn it over on downs. 1st down for Kentlake, as they will take the results of the play, which got him down to about the 20-yard line. So unless Long knew that, put him down and start him at the 20, and here we go.
Well, that's just the second stop that Kentlake has gotten. So let's see if they can turn this around, get a little bit of something going now that their defense was able to hold Lake Stevens.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line, ball at the right-hand hash mark. First possession of the second half for the Kentlake Falcons. Hyman will run it around the right-hand side, and he will get about a 2-yard gain. Tony Hyman, the running back. Brandon Mortensen, the quarterback, the 6'2", 190-pound senior for the Kentlake Falcons, coming in as the number 4 ranked team out of the North Puget Sound League. North Puget Sound Cascade Division number 4, 7-2 in the regular season last year, 5-4 in the regular season this year for Kentlake. Play action pass, throwing it right-hand side, has a man down there, incomplete. Wow, Hutchinson was with him stride for stride. There was a little bit of contract there. Jeremiah Woods, the intended receiver, couldn't quite catch up with it.
A little bit of incidental contact, but both the defender and the back were looking up at the football. And so ordinarily when that happens, they're not going to call it. Where Hutchinson, the defender, not looking at football but playing the man, that perhaps would have drawn a flag.
Kind of incidentally on purpose. So 3rd down, 7 yards to go at the 23-yard line. Right-hand hash mark. Mortensen, shotgun snap. Steps up in the pocket, now flushed out, goes right, has a man in his grill, throws it down into traffic. It's going to be nearly intercepted by Hutchinson and nearly caught there by Alex Lopez. Neither one could do it, so it's going to drop it to the ground, incomplete. 4th down coming up here for Kentlake.
And then after all that, Dominic Rivas came to the side and just leveled the receiver, making sure he didn't catch the football. So Kentlake once again will be forced to punt the football away.
Austin Mura now is back to receive the punt, standing at the 50. They're not even going back as far as they usually do on a punt because they just haven't been traveling very far. Here is a very high snap. The kick away, low line driver. Will Murin pick it up? Nope. He says, I'll just get out of the way. And it takes a pretty good roll all the way down to the 30-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Lake Stevens. They'll start this drive from their own 30.
So again, the defense just playing lights out. And I think you're right, Tom. You know, Lake Stevens doesn't want to show. I know. I hate agreeing with you. You know that. But I think you're right that in the fact that Lake Stevens is not going to want to show all they have now. They got a 31-point lead. I suspect that they will be fairly conservative and just take care of the football, let their defense do what they're doing, keep their rest of their team healthy, and be ready for next week.
Lake Stevens opened the season with a 49-0 win over Stanwood. Then they lost the next week to Arlington.
and which was probably the biggest upset I can remember probably in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost that one 54-28, but boy, that was a wake-up call for these Lake Stevens Vikings. Here we are in the opening round of the playoffs, and back to pass is Long. Steps up in the pocket, throws. On the run, it's going to be complete. What a pass. What a catch by Austin Murin. Picked it up off the turf at the 48-yard line and then motored forward to about the 50. It'll be 1st and 10.
That is a spectacular catch in 30-degree weather, and he's down about 6 inches off the ground. He's standing up, has his arms outstretched, his thumbs together, and just snatches that ball out from midair for the first down. 21 yards. Great catch by Murin.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Lake Stevens, leading at 31-0. We're 9.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. They're at the Kentlake 49-yard line. Ball at the right hash mark. Trip set left. One to the right, the short side of the field. Trey Long, no, it's going to be a direct snap. It goes to Lewis, right straight up the middle, 45, 40, and down to the 39-yard line. That might be a 10-yard gain and a first down. Lewis gets up off the bottom of the stack. He's not a very big guy, and they had a whole bunch of guys on top of him. No, it's going to be second down, so they're going to give him 9 yards on the running play by Tom Lewis on the direct snap. A little wildcat action here for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Now the Vikings come up to the line of scrimmage. Second down and a yard to go. Trip set left side. Again, same looking formation. Will they do the same thing here? They will not. It'll be Long who has it. Throws the pass. Bubble screen complete to Hansen. Stiff arms him at the 35-30. Escapes at the 25-20. Did he step out of bounds? He stepped out of his shoe, didn't he? Luke, what is that sitting there right on the sideline?
I think it was a towel or a hand warmer that fell off, but I didn't think he stepped out of bounds from my vantage point, but my opinion doesn't count that much compared to official.
Yeah, you're not wearing stripes. They're slimming, you know. 8:32 to go. They say he did step out of bounds back at the 23-yard line, so it'll be first down, 10 yards to go for Lake Stevens. From the 23, motion man is Hansen through the formation, heads over to the right side. They'll look right, they'll throw right. Hansen had it. No, excuse me, it was Hutchinson who had it and dropped it. That's a couple of times, Bill, that those balls have been thrown perfectly, and the guys have just, well, you know what? It's up. I'm wearing gloves, by the way.
You're wearing gloves inside with
a heater.
Yeah.
But I've got my window cracked open.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm suffering too. At the 24-yard line, it's going to be now second down, 10 yards to go after the incomplete pass. Lewis steps to the left of the quarterback Long. Now they'll put a man in motion as Monerath. They'll give it to Lewis. He'll head upfield, kind of a misdirection play, and that misdirection didn't go the right direction. Get only about a 1-yard gain for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Clock is moving with 8 minutes and 12 seconds to play in the third quarter, and a 31-0 lead for the Lake Stevens Vikings here in the Quad District crossover game at Lake Stevens High School. Tom Lafferty along with Bill Kusler and Luke Windsor on the sidelines today. Alex Clausius is our statistician tonight. Andrew Klesick is our spotter. Pat Castro on the audio graphics. Todd Elvig at controls on the STSPN simulcast, and Brandon Hamilton at controls in downtown Everett on Fox Sports 1380. Quad set right, rolling to the right. It's going to be Hansen makes a catch, hauls it at the 15-yard line, heads forward to the 10 and down inside the 10-yard line. He'll stay in bounds, but that'll stop the clock to move the sticks. It'll be first down, goal to go for Lake Stevens.
Just, again, beautiful pass, a 14-yard gain on the play as Long continues just to be pinpoint accurate and taking really good care of the football.
So we'll bring him up to the line of scrimmage, which is at the 9-yard line right hash mark. So Kayshawn Monerath is the running back to the left of Trey Long. They'll just kind of toss it to him, and he'll head around the left-hand side. Looking to hit upfield, he does at the 10, and twisted like a pretzel, and he's going to get about a 2-yard gain, put him down to about the 7-yard line.
And just keep that clock a-running. 7 minutes now left in the third quarter.
Somebody dropped again something. It's going to be a towel that was dropped there. And now they're going to just throw it away. That's Hansen who had it. He has to set up as the quad set right. 4 wide receivers to the right side, the wide side of the field. Second down, goal to go at the 8-yard line. Empty backfield, rolling right. Long looking, still rolling, still looking, still rolling, still looking. Out of bounds he goes at the 15-yard line. He was rolling, and there was no one to throw to.
No one to throw to, and again, smart move. Heads up, you do not force it in there. There's no need to do that. Run it out of bounds and live to play another down.
Carson Lucas was chasing him and chased him right on out of bounds. So third down, goal to go, now back at the 15-yard line for Lake Stevens. Looking to the sidelines as they hold up 2 pair. Actually, it's a full house, I think. They have blue, gold, crimson, and a bunch of dominoes and dice on the sideline. High Q, FIOHAQ. I don't know what all that means, but they do out on the field. Third down, goal to go at the 15-yard line. Shotgun snap, back to pass. Screen pass going to be complete to Hansen. Hauls it at the 15, heads to the 10, angling to the sideline and into the end zone. Touchdown for Hansen. Touchdown, Lake Stevens. 15 yards away for the Lake Stevens score.
Just beautifully executed. Once again, that little screen popping it over the top with the lineman allowed to rush in, and then he just made 2 moves and he was off to the races. And nice catch for Hansen. Hansen has been a workhorse here tonight. 7 catches for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns. And now Trey Long, backup quarterback, is 16 for 22 for 230 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Austin Cameron to hold. Widman adds the extra point. It's up, and it is good. With 6 minutes and 16 seconds to play in the third quarter, it's now Lake Stevens 38, Kentlake nothing. This is Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Here in the third quarter, a 38-0 lead for the Lake Stevens Vikings. It's an all Vikings here tonight against Kentlake. And here is the approach and the kick, and we are back underway. High end over end, taken by Potts at the 10, 15, eludes him at the 20, heads upfield at the 25, still running, and finally goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So from the 32-yard line, it'll be 1st and 10 for Kentlake. Let's take a look at that scoring drive.
So Lake Stevens this time goes to the longer field, 70 yards in 9 plays, 4 plays on the ground and 5 through the air, taking 3:33 off the clock. Final play, a 15-yard touchdown pass from Trey Long to Ian Hansen. Brock Widman's kick is good, with 6:16 remaining in the third quarter. All Lake Stevens, it's the Vikings 38, Kentlake 0.
6:07 to play in the third quarter. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Shotgun snap, back to pass. Mortensen throws. It's a good little screen pass. It's going to be complete to Jeremiah Woods. Woods will fall forward, get about a 5-yard gain. And they will stop the clock here. And do I see a flag? The officials are having a chat here. Oh, an eligible receiver downfield? Or, no, I'm sorry, I didn't see which way he pointed.
So what does that signal mean on the defensive side?
So
scratching the back of his head.
Yeah. Oh, the targeting would be the, yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I didn't see he was behind a pole. So, Luke, it looks like maybe a targeting penalty. Yeah, I think it was. So that is the illegal use of the headgear. So the targeting penalty put it down to the 48-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Kentlake Falcons. First time they get into Lake Stevens territory, Tony Hyman gets it, escapes a man at the 45 almost, and then brought down on a shoestring tackle there by Austin Calvin.
And just the second first down here of the ball game for Kentlake. It comes via the penalty. Kentlake, looking at their season ending, would like nothing better than to at least get into the end zone once.
5:26 to play here in the third quarter. A 38-0 lead for Lake Stevens. Kentlake on the move here, down to the 44-yard line of Lake Stevens. It's a second down and 6 yards to go. Little double reverse, and then they give it off. Down he will go. Flag comes down. It was Alex Lopez, last man to have the football. Little razzle-dazzle action. He's going to lose a couple of yards, and a flag comes down as well. And we're going to have a chop block against the Kentlake Falcons. So that'll negate that play on the chop block. That previous scoring play was brought to you by El Paraiso Mexican Grill. Before, after the game, or anytime, the place to go is El Paraiso Mexican Grill and Cantina in Everett, Silver Lake, and Snohomish. Their full menu and locations online at elparaisoMexicanGrill.com.
You know how at Safeco Field and Quest and stuff where they have all the restaurants and stuff right in the stadium?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice? Have like an El Paraiso right next door in the press box. Go over there and pick up some fajitas.
So this will be a 15-yard penalty on the chop block against Kentlake.
Remember when we just had one penalty in the first half?
Yeah, that quickly went away. So out to the 39-yard line. Back to the 39-yard line. Kentlake will back up and have a second down and an Uber ride for a first down. From the 39-yard line, they need to get to the other 38. Fulau is going to be split out to the right as Mortensen just standing there kind of waiting for everybody to get set. They wind the clock, and he's ready to go. Brandon Mortensen, the quarterback, will get the shotgun snap. Gets a flea flicker, throws it down the right-hand side into traffic, tipped up and almost intercepted. Almost like Bill, you're going to call that a double flea flicker?
Yeah, there's a double reverse flick back to the quarterback and then long, and then Rivas gets up a little gimpy like he tweaked his back or something. Ooh.
Yeah, he kind of went up weird as the ball was tipped, and then one of the other guys was going to try to intercept it. They couldn't do it.
Yeah, Rivas was one that got up and tipped the football, and then almost Hutchinson coming in to make the pick, but Rivas looks like he's okay now. His back was a little bit stiff as he ran back to the huddle.
So third down, 21 yards to go. Back to pass, no. Down he will go. Mortensen will get sacked again, back at the 32-yard line. That'll be a loss of 7 yards on the sack. It's going to bring up fourth down and a country mile here for Kentlake. The punting team will have to get rid of the football. Boy, that is a long way. Fourth down and 10, 20, 34, about fourth down and 34 yards to go. Yeah, I think they'll punt.
We talk about having a balanced offense run to the pass. Kentlake 3 yards rushing, 5 yards passing.
That's just mean. Here's the kick away, low line drive. Murin will pick it up at the 35-yard line, and he pays the price. Got the football and buried at the 35. It'll be first and 10, though, again, for Lake Stevens. Pretty good starting field position. They'll actually put him at the 37 for the first down.
Not trying to be mean, just emphasizing what a tremendous day it's been for the Lake Stevens defense here today against a team that was held under 14 points only once during the season and averaged 24 points per ball game.
So first and 10 for the Vikings in their black jerseys, purple numbers, gold trim, purple helmets, gold pants. Moving from right to left here in the third quarter from the 37-yard line. It's first down, 10 yards to go. And the quarterback is Trey Long with two running backs flanked on each side of the quarterback, and they'll run it. It's going to be Lewis heading around the left-hand side at the 40 and then into the bench, and a flag comes down right at the end of the play as Lewis was heading out of bounds at about the 44-yard line, 43-yard line. And we'll see the officials
We'll see if it stands up. Austin Calvin had a tremendous block. That defensive end out there looked like he was going to throw that play for a loss, and Calvin just turned him absolutely around and allowed the running back to get past for a nice little gain.
So it'll be a face mask penalty, incidental face mask penalty, I think, against the Kentlake Falcons. So from the end of the play, they'll tack on 5 yards. I do believe. It's not the personal foul face mask variety. It'll be the incidental, but that's still going to be enough for a first down. From the end of the, oops.
Nope, it's not incidental.
Okay.
It's the big bad face mask penalty.
Personal foul. Jim didn't do that the first time. Personal foul face mask. Okay. That's a horse of a different color.
And then the umpire marked off 20 yards, and then he had to come back 5. That's okay.
It's cold.
Yep, it is cold.
At the 42-yard line, it'll be first down, 10 yards to go for Lake Stevens. The quarterback, Trey Long, in for Connor Bardou, out with a fractured hand, out for the season. So Long's done a great job here in this third quarter, in this whole ball game. Now still at the controls here in the third quarter with a 38-0 lead. First and 10 for Lake Stevens, now at the Kentlake 42-yard line. Waiting for the snap here. They're down inside 5 seconds on the play clock, and that's going to take too long. They just took a long time. I'm not sure if it almost looked like they were even built in a hurry to snap the football.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that an experienced quarterback will do, is he'll be looking at that back judge, and as soon as that arm goes up, he knows he has 5 seconds left, and Long did not see it, and so the penalty is marked off.
So it'll be first down, 15 yards to go at the 47-yard line now for the Vikings. Double wideout stacked both sides. Ball at the left hash mark at the 47-yard line. Tom Lewis direct snap at the 45-yard line, heads upfield at the 40. So he's going to get about seven yards, put him down at the 40-yard line. So Lewis a couple times has taken that direct snap, headed right straight up the field. That time nets him 7 yards on the running play.
It's really effective with Trey Long at quarterback, because Long is so good at that sprint out to the right or to the left.
And now he'll throw the pass. Oh, that's another drop. As it was Hutchinson, the intended receiver. I think they've spread it around, Bill. I think everybody's had a drop.
Yeah, so in Wikipedia, when it says running before you have the football, now they have 2 videos up there.
So it's become a YouTube page of dropping the football, or dropping it before you can head upfield.
And it's just too much excitement of getting turned around and up the field.
Yeah. Third down and 8 yards to go at the 40-yard line. Quad set to the right, rolling right is Long, looking upfield, nobody open. Now he'll run it at the 40, at the 35, and then brought down hard at the 35-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain. Trey Long on the run. He kind of gets up and kind of stretches his knee like that was a hard hit. And Tom tried, just had this big side ache right there, just like, look, we'd like to ride you there, Trey.
We'd like for you to play next week again.
Fourth down, 3 yards to go. They'll go for it here at the 35-yard line, right hash mark. Long rolls to the left, looking, firing, complete to Hansen, who kind of stretches forward and gets the first down at the 30-yard line. That's a 4-yard gain. 4-yard gain and a first down for Lake Stevens.
That was extra effort by Hansen. He was hit well short of the first down marker and was able to take that one last surge and then stretch his body and stretch his arm out, touch that 30-yard line and gain the first down. Nice second effort.
The football just shy of the 30-yard line. First down, 10 yards to go here for Lake Stevens. 4 wide receivers to the right. No, it's 3, and then they put a man in motion. Tom Lewis will, a little misdirection, will carry it 30 down to the 25-yard line. So keeping it on the ground, get about a 6-yard gain. The clock continues to move. We're down to 2:20 to play in the third quarter here at Lake Stevens.
Just kind of relentless, isn't it? Just boom, boom, boom. They have so many looks. They give a defense so many things to have to think about. Tremendously complicated offense that Tom Try runs, but it has been effective for so many years here at Lake Stevens.
Second down, 4 yards to go at the 25-yard line, just across the 25. Shotgun snap, fake it to the right, throw it to the left. Complete, down to the 15. That is going to be Winkler. Chase Winkler makes that catch for a 9-yard gain. Put him down at the 15-yard line and a first down for Lake Stevens.
Another great fake. That time they faked that little screen. That really brought that outside linebacker in, and Winkler was able to get outside of him, wide open, makes the catch.
Winkler just came over and shook hands with Trey Long like they were introducing themselves. Hi, I'm your left side wide receiver in this play. So it's going to be first down, 10 yards to go at the 15-yard line. Motion man is Hansen. Take it away from him. Give it to Lewis. Wide open. Lewis up the gut and into the end zone. 15-yard run by Tom Lewis and another Lake Stevens touchdown.
That was a big hole. They faked that fly sweep. They've done that several times where they fake the fly sweep. The linebacker, again, the inside man this time really bit on the fake, was going out to the left, and then with that little inside reverse action and having Lewis go straight off left tackle, and I could have run through that. And I am really old, really slow.
And with really bad knees.
That's right.
That's right. So waiting for the snap for the extra point, and we will be in a running clock formation here the rest of the evening. Lake Stevens has jumped out to 44, make it 45 on the lead. 45-0 the lead. Lake Stevens over Kentlake, Snohomish County Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3.
We're all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi ductless heat pumps allow you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. Because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
One game going into the running clock like we are here. Ferndale leading Ballard 63-7 in the third quarter. And now Monroe has a 41-25 lead in the third quarter. That won't be running clock. Potts from the 5. Potts to the 10, 15. Now heads cross field at the 20, looking for a lane upfield at the 25 and out to the 30-yard line. So Potts on the return, put him out to the 30-yard line. First and 10 for Kentlake.
Lake Stevens drives 63 yards in 8 plays, 5 on the ground and 3 through the air, taking 2:37 off the clock. A 15-yard touchdown run by Tom Lewis takes it in. Brock Widman's kick is good, and with 1:22 remaining in the third quarter, 45-0 over Kentlake. And we see a bunch of brand new jerseys on the defensive side for Lake Stevens run out onto the field.
As Kentlake will have it here, we're down inside 45 seconds to play in the third quarter. They will run the football. Potts will carry it, get a couple of yards out to about the 33-yard line. 2-yard gain that time. And we're coming up very quickly. We're in the running clock situation, but it's running anyway, and down to 22 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Second down, 8 yards to go from the 32-yard line for Kentlake. Being shut out so far, 45-0. Potts gets the screen pass to the right side. Escapes one man at the 35. Motors forward to about the 37. That's a 5-yard gain, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter here at Lake Stevens. All Vikings tonight. 45-0 over the Falcons of Kentlake. Fourth quarter, running clock coming up. Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3. Okay.
Chevy trucks. We think it's because Chevrolets are the most dependable trucks.
Built to last a long time. With durability and ruggedness. Son of a gun. Chevrolet pickups are designed and built better than ever, giving you a smooth, solid ride since 1918.
I like the extra power. Hauling power. Super powerful.
Super powerful.
Nasty power!
And quality. Seems they make them strong. Extra strong. Stronger every year.
Chevy trucks
are built for work.
Work. Hard work.
And for play.
That's why Chevy's the best truck.
Mile after mile after
mile.
Score updates that we will give you. We're in a running clock now with Lake Stevens second half, 40 or more points. Lake Stevens with a 45-0 lead here, start of the fourth quarter. This should go fairly quickly, and for Kentlake, they'd like it to be painless if they could. 3 wide receivers left on a third down, 3 yards to go. They'll run the football. That's going to be out to the left-hand side. That is Tony Hyman on the carry. About a 1-yard gain brings up fourth down. Let's go down to Luke Windsor on the sideline. Luke.
Well, Tom, right after that last scoring drive by Lake Stevens, backup quarterback, the freshman Connor Jelson, began warming up in earnest, so we may be seeing him take the offense the rest of the way for Lake Stevens, ending Trey Long's night.
We shall see, as I saw some guys warming up down here.
New quarterback, by the way.
New quarterback in there. That is going to foul. Fulau will run the football right straight up the middle. Fulau, about a 6-yard gain. And that will be enough for a first down for the Kentlake Falcons. That's their third first down of this football game.
And it looks like Fulau will end up quarterbacking this team for the rest of the way.
Oh,
okay.
Mortensen they've thrown in. Yeah, so they're running kind of a wildcat here. As Fulau will run it up the gut here, get about a 3, maybe a 4-yard gain out to close to the 49-yard line.
Mortensen didn't seem too wanting to run out of pattern or throw a block too much, did he, out there? He just went out there and stood.
Yeah, I'll be over here. Just wave when you want me to come back in and quarterback it. So they say, okay, come on in, Brandon. You can quarterback this one.
There you go. There you go.
Fulau stays in the backfield, though. Now he goes in motion out of the backfield, floods his own right side. He'll receive the pass on the screen to the right side, across the 50, dives forward to the 47-yard line. It'll be about a 5-yard gain, not quite enough for a first down.
And the backup defense for Lake Stevens looking pretty good as well. We just have to remember, in 3 quarters of action, the starting defense for Lake Stevens gave up 8 total yards.
Wow. Domination here by the Lake Stevens Vikings. And Kentlake with it now. Third down and a yard to go at the Lake Stevens. Fulau is in the backfield again, but the quarterback Mortensen gets it, fakes it to him, throws it incomplete. Grundy was the intended receiver. Incomplete pass. Brings up fourth down now here for the Kentlake Falcons.
That ball thrown low. They had a fourth down situation previous to this and ran it up the middle for a first down. 4th and short here. I suspect they'll go again.
It will go for it here. 4th down, 1 yard to go at the 47-yard line. Ball at the right hash mark. Fulau in the Wildcat gets it, but he'll hand it off. No, he will fake it and keep it and head to the right side, and I think he's going to get the first down. We'll give him about a 2-yard gain and put him down to the 45-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Kentlake. Their best drive of the night so far against the second and third stringers defensively for Lake Stevens. Clock moves with 8:40 to play. Running clock. 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the left side, 1 to the right. Back to pass Mortensen, throws it down the right sideline, has a man there, overthrown. He's just been overthrowing the receivers all night long.
Yeah, he has not been very accurate. Going back to our keys to the game, which we talked about before the game, avoid a letdown. I think they were able to do that. Rally behind your second string quarterback. I think they were able to do that. Control the clock. Yep. Let your defense win for you. Yes. They hit all those keys.
Does your shoulder hurt when you pat yourself on the back, or? or are you so used to it? Second down, 10 yards to go. Hyman right up the middle at the 40, 35, 30, still running down to the 25-yard line. So a nice run. It's got to be the longest play from scrimmage, isn't it, for the whole night? Put him down inside the
It doesn't hurt because I stretch. I stretch before every broadcast.
So from the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Kentlake on the move. They'd like to put one in the end zone. Mortensen drops back to pass on 1st down. Throws it. Hyman there. Oh, no. Incomplete pass.
Yep.
Flags come flying in. Hyman hasn't moved. He hasn't moved since he could not catch the football.
That was kind of a cheap shot. The ball was overthrown, and the ball was past him, and then he just absolutely got nailed.
And immediately two flags came flying in.
Absolutely just flat on his back. There's no need for that.
Yeah, I did see one of the coaches kind of start jawing over at the Lake Stevens huddle area where everyone's taking a knee here. Let's see what Luke Windsor saw on that play. Luke.
Well, it was just the typical defenseless receiver getting hit well after the ball had gone past him. And I think what really riled the Kentlake coaches up is after the play, a couple of Lake Stevens players were celebrating the hit. So it may be more so the poor sportsmanship than it was the hit itself.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
do you want to expand?
No, defenseless receiver, yes. You hit the guy, you celebrate a little bit, then you look and you say, uh-oh. Yeah. I don't know that it was malicious.
The celebration, you mean?
Right.
Yeah. And, well, the hit was not malicious, too,
no.
but it was obviously a penalty. And
sure. Oh, sure.
And it's really scary when the receiver is still lying down there flat on his back, although he's moving his feet a little bit, so that's a good sign.
So let's step aside here as they attend to the injured player. 7:18 to play in the game. Clock is stopped now. 45-0, the lead for Lake Stevens. Back with more from Lake Stevens right after this.
When you shop at Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens, you not only find what you need, we make sure you get the help you need too. Hi, this is Gray Eaglestead, and I own Lake Stevens Ace Hardware with my wife, Christine.
We'll greet you at the door and answer any questions you have about what you need. We're all about serving our customers and our community.
We support local high school sports and many other Lake Stevens organizations and events throughout the year.
So the next time you need something for that job around the house and a little friendly advice, come see us.
Ace Hardware in Lake Stevens. We are the helpful hardware folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Final, Ferndale defeats Ballard. They 10-timed them, 70-7. Ouch.
Yeah, again, it's unfortunate the amount of blowouts they have this opening week of the playoffs.
Including this game, a 45-0 lead with a 7:18 to play in a running clock. So the defenseless receiver and Jim Erickson has now summoned. I just wonder if they're going to throw somebody out. See if, Luke, are you getting any kind of indication? They're talking to Tom Try, three of the officials. Are they going to throw somebody out? But Bill, it was a like we said, I don't think it was malicious. They weren't out headhunting. It was just unfortunate. It was a penalty. So personal foul, targeting, and they're going to toss him out.
Yeah, well, maybe it wasn't just the fact that it was late, but maybe it was helmet to helmet, and I don't know who the player was that made the hit. It was a backup defensive back.
Yeah, I think the starters are all on the sideline. So,
right. So clarify that for me, Tom. If he's tossed in this game, what are the consequences for the next game?
I'm going to have to go to get our official. Okay, let's go down. Okay, let's go back down. Luke, go ahead.
Yeah, if you get ejected from a game, you also have to miss the next game after. So number 24 for Lake Stevens was ejected, and Coach Try was very upset about that ruling.
Gabe Ramsey is the player, and so, well, this game kind of soured there for a minute or two.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. With all the discussion of concussions and that type of thing, I think you got to do it. I think you got to make players aware, and I think tossing him out of the ball game was not unjustified, even if it was not an intentional thing.
Folau in the backfield. They will run the football around the right side. That's going to be Mason Homolka who will carry that football. So it's on a 1st and 10 penalty from the 12-yard line. They're going to give him about a 4-yard gain, it looks like. Just inside the 10-yard line is where they'll spot the football. So 2nd down, 7 yards to go. The clock is running with 6:42 to play. Kentlake with their first threat of the night. They'll throw it over to the left-hand side, intercepted. Picked off at the 5 and down at the 12-yard line. Intercepted there by the defensive back who came from just shooting through there for Lake Stevens. It was Ty Hilton who picked it off and then returned it out to the 12-yard line. So that would-be scoring drive for the Kentlake Falcons is thwarted by the turnover, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lake Stevens Vikings.
Yeah, just a little slant pattern on the inside, and he looked open momentarily, but then Hilton came in and just took the ball right away on the inside, had a nice little run back, and let's see who's playing quarterback right now. Looks like number 10.
It will be number 10, and that will be Brandon. Oh,
no,
excuse me,
be
Colby.
Tanner Jellison, right?
Tanner Jellison
it's
should
16,
be. It's 16.
Right.
Yes.
It's hard to read those numbers.
Yes, it is. So Jellison will hand it off. There'll be a running play up the right side, across the 15 out to about the 17-yard line. Dallas Landeros on that carry. Give him a gain of about 5, brings up 2nd down, 5 yards to go. 5.5 minutes to play, running clock. We're going to have to start talking here about our player of the game here on the broadcast, the simulcast with STSPN tonight.
I know who I think it is.
A little pass play. Max Moena on the reception. Will get about a 4-yard gain. Brings up 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Bill, who's your vote?
It's got to be, even though the defense was so magnificent, it's got to be Trey Long coming in as a backup quarterback and throwing for 243 yards and 4 touchdowns.
We'll get Luke's vote. We'll get Luke's vote here in a minute. 3rd down, 2 yards to go for the Lake Stevens Vikings. Landeros again on the carry. Will get a 1st down as they'll move the sticks out to about the 26-yard line. Luke, who do you like for player of the game? Are you in agreement?
I like Trey Long with honorable mention going to the starting defensive line for Lake Stevens. They dominated all night.
Yeah, so our player of the game brought to you by Allstate Insurance. Brian Reed, our Good Hands player of the game, will be Trey Long. Backup quarterback, didn't look like a backup quarterback tonight, and he will be our player of the game. We'll get him coming up at the end of the ball game. At the 26-yard line, that'll be Landeros again on the carry around the left-hand side at the 35-40, 45-50, up the right side, outside the numbers at the 40, and all the way down to the 37-yard line. Landeros open around the left-hand side, kind of a slow play to develop, and then he showed that he had some wheels, and he gets a 32-yard gain and a 1st down for Lake Stevens.
Kentlake lost contain over on that side, and he was off to the races. He showed some great speed. Did Landeros now 3 carries for 41 yards.
So put him down at the 37-yard line. 1st down, 10 yards to go for the Lake Stevens Vikings with 3:33 to play in the football game. Leading at 45-0. And a 1st and 10 here. Jellison is the quarterback. He's the freshman. Landroso gets the direct snap. Heads around the left-hand side at the 30, at the 25, at the 20. Stays on his feet and then finally hit as he gets to the out-of-bounds marker. That's a 22-yard gain on the running play. And down inside the red zone they go to the 15-yard line with 3 minutes to play in the game.
That backup offensive line really firing off the ball for Lake Stevens.
Yeah, the backups have been in here most of this fourth quarter. Lake Stevens will advance. They will play the winner of tomorrow night's game between Todd Beamer High School and Graham Kapowson. On a 1st and 10 play, Landeros again on the carry. You just give him about a 1-yard gain. Put him down to the 16-yard line. 2.5 minutes now to play. The clock is running. We did tell you a couple of finals. Ferndale beat Ballard already tonight, 70-7. Bothell beat Glacier Peak, 56-6. We'll give you all the scores that we have coming in our post-game show. 2nd down, 9 yards to go at the 17-yard line for the Vikings. Landeros again at the carry around the right side. Gets down to the inside the 10-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd down. What are they on 3rd down conversions today? The 4 of 11 are the Lake Stevens Vikings.
They haven't had very many 3rd downs.
That's right.
And Landeros becomes the 3rd Lake Stevens running back to rush for at least 70 yards in this game.
3rd down, 2 yards to go at the 10-yard line for Lake Stevens. Landeros, the direct snap, eludes one man, still running. Maybe they give him enough forward momentum for a 1st down.
Tom, before that play ran, Lake Stevens had 247 yards rushing and 247 yards passing. That's pretty good balance.
We call that balance in the trades. This is the 10th play of this drive, and it's at the 10-yard line. 6-yard line. 1st down, goal to go at the 6. That's a Jellison who will hand it off around the right-hand side and into the end zone for a touchdown. It's a 6-yard run for the Lake Stevens Vikings, and going in is going to be 10. Did we get the number? Sergio Paleo. Bunch of new guys. So 26 goes in, and that is Sergio Paleo. And so he will score and makes it 51-0.
That's a hard call. You want your second team to be able to go down the field. You want them to be able to score. On the other hand, you're up by 45 points against a demoralized team. Scoring with a minute left, that's kind of tough too.
High snap, partially blocked as well. And so the extra point will be no good. So we'll take our final break of the game broadcast. Our score with 1:01 to play in the game. Vikings 51, Falcons nothing. Western Conference Football, Fox Sports 1380, FM 95.3.
Did you know that Speedway Chevrolet is part of the Lee Johnson Auto family? That means 84 years of serving you the LJ way. Need a truck? We have the perfect truck to fit your needs. Half tons, 1 ton, 2-wheel drives, and 4-wheel drives. Our finance specialists are here to help you, whether you have good credit or bad credit. We're just off Highway 522 at West Main Street in Monroe.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
In 1A football, it was Meridian defeating Cedar Park Christian Bothell 63-3. So blowouts galore up and down the, doesn't matter if it's 4A, 3A, 2A, or 1A, the blowouts here in the Quad District crossovers. So from the 40-yard line, Lake Stevens will kick it with a minute to play in the game. And Kentlake will get it for one last opportunity here in a running clock game. The approach, Potts will field it at the 10-yard line, 15. Now heading across to the near side. Oh, no, he's going to reverse his field, go back the other way at the 20, and get out to the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at that scoring play.
That drive goes 80 yards in 10 plays, 9 on the ground, 1 through the air, taking 5:09 off the clock. The highlights, 2 long runs by Dallas Landeros. The final run, a 6-yard touchdown run by Sergio Paleo. Point after touchdown kick was no good, and as time gets close to running out here, Lake Stevens 51, Kentlake 0.
That scoring update brought to you by the Law Office of Russell and Hill, proud sponsors of the Boy and Girl Athlete of the Month and Athletes of the Year program, Russell and Hill. So Kentlake called a timeout just to give themselves a chance to run one good play, and they will take the long ride home down to Kent, and the Lake Stevens Vikings coaching staff will take the long ride down to Art Crate Field in Bethel to take a look in person at a future Washington Husky, the quarterback for Graham Kapowson, as they will take on Todd Beamer tomorrow night. Again, Art Crate Field in Bethel. Dylan Morris, that future Husky quarterback. And so that game will happen tomorrow night. And so they will head down there. Falcons had made the regional round of the postseason 4 times in their history, made the quarterfinals in 2000. As we mentioned, Lake Stevens got them 67-33 back in 2012, and tonight 51-0. Barring something strange, that should probably be the final score. Unless Kentlake can muster up something here. Fulau in the backfield. Brandon Mortensen taking his final snap as a high school quarterback. And Jim Erickson says, wait for me to blow the whistle that we're ready to go. He says, now, here we go. Mortensen will take the shotgun snap, throw it to Fulau, dropped it. It was not they didn't blow the whistle. They did not blow the whistle. I thought it was forward. I thought it was a little bit forward, but they did not blow the whistle as an incomplete pass. The clock is running down to 28 seconds to go. No, they say it was a lateral rather than a forward pass. Wow. Hunter Wells with the recovery, and clock is going to expire before they will get off a play. So Lake Stevens is going to get a very impressive win, 51-0 here over the Kentlake Falcons. That'll be our final score.
What a dominating performance, all-around domination.
Yeah, so Lake Stevens will advance. They will play in the first round of the state round, the round of 16, which will happen next week. And they'll be right back here at Lake Stevens Stadium. So we'll be right back here on Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3 and STSPN. Been glad you've been with us here. We're going to see if we get Luke with our player of the game. And Trey Long, Bill, you just can't say enough superlatives about a guy that comes off the bench and say, here you go, take the place of a really, really fine quarterback in Connor Bardu, who was injured last week.
Yeah, Trey Long ends up 18 for 25 for 243 yards and 4 touchdowns. Not a bad outing for his first start at quarterback.
So the two teams are now shaking hands in the center of the field, and Trey Long is making his way over, and he's going to talk with Luke Windsor here, and we'll get a shirt for him. Our All-State Good Hands player of the game will be Trey Long, and he's going to stand by. Let's go down to Luke Windsor. Luke.
Trey, first start as a quarterback, you win a playoff game. Where do you go from here?
You just keep moving on each week and just try to get better each week.
How much of a role did your offensive line play tonight protecting? Because you didn't get a lot of hits tonight.
Yeah, they just got to help me out. I only had 1 day of practice this week, and just gotta trust your line, trust how good they've been working this year.
And did having a defense as dominant like this take a lot of pressure off for you tonight?
Yeah, it helps me out, and it takes the focus off of having to make the pinpoint pass and stuff like that.
All right, well, great job tonight. Good luck next week.
All right, thank you.
Tom, back to you.
All right, thanks very much. Trey Long, our Allstate Insurance Good Hands player of the game, Allstate Insurance agent Brian Reed. Brian lives and works in your community. Stop by the Brian Reed Agency in Everett or call 425-337-4646. With Brian Reed and Allstate, you're in good hands. And thanks to Brian Reed, and we will get a picture with the let's go to Tom Try right now. Let's go down the field.
Coach, can you remember being a part of such a dominant defensive effort before?
It's been a while since we shut down a team like that. I'm so proud of our defense. You know, we really challenged them all week because we knew we had our quarterback out with the broken hand, and we talked about how, hey, it might be a low-scoring game, and defense is going to really control our destiny this week, and they really answered the bell and then some tonight.
And Trey Long, your quarterback, his first ever start. I mean, can you ask for much more than that?
He's an athlete, you know, and he's been waiting his turn and been behind Connor for the past few years, and you know, his turn came and he really made the most of it tonight. He was a little bit rusty, but for a kid that's been out for a sickness for a while, then to come back and then to change positions, because he played X for us, a receiver spot, and then linebacker. He started linebacker for us, and then for him to come and really switch his receiver spot and become a quarterback, even though he played quarterback all last year, he hadn't taken a single rep the entire spring, summer, all of fall camp, because he played X. He was a receiver. So, yeah, for a couple days practice at quarterback in our offense, his ability to move guys around and execute, couldn't be more proud of him tonight. He did a great job running the show.
Well, congratulations on the win. Safe drive tomorrow night as you go down to Bethel to see Graham Kapowski and Todd Beamer play, and good luck next week.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Back to you, Tom.
Okay, thanks very much to Tom Try with Luke Windsor, and also our player of the game, Trey Long, the quarterback who got our Allstate Insurance Good Hands play of the game. Stay with us for the Wesco Wrap postgame show coming up here on Fox Sports 1380 FM 95.3. Again, the final...